Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess. And what's that? You're challenging me to a sharding contest yet again, knowing what happened the last two times. Whoo! You're brave, little buddy. You know what? I'm going to let you have this one. You look like you need a win today. I will graciously concede. So there you go. You got your win. But do me a favor and hit that like button or there'll be pandemonium in the streets and vanilla. So, we spent some quality time carrying the RoseCraft Blades Ogee. Now, let's take a look at what we're holding, because it'll bother you if I don't. And you know I love you. So, first things first, and most importantly, the pocket clip is tip up, which is the Lord's carry. It is reversible. We got the black G10. We got the flipper tab. Let's flick the bean. And we have got 3.34 inches of D2 steel. And this is $15. $15 on RoseCraft's website. So, the reason I say vanilla is I carried this thing and nothing really stood out huge one way or the other about this thing, aside from the little flare that you get with the blue liners, the blue lanyard hole, the blue thumb studs. It really was a very basic vanilla carry, and that's in a good way. I kind of worry sometimes when I pick up these $10, $15 knives that you're going to have some kind of massive pain in the ass that you're going to have to live with because it's a cheap knife. No. There is nothing really here to compromise this thing. It's just a good, solid workhorse. It did good. The edge, I took a little bit of plastic off the pallets, which, if you don't know, the plastic on the pallets, whenever I'm doing that at work, you go through the middle where there's a bunch of layers. A decent edge will cut it good, but you get down to that bottom layer where there's just one layer of wrap around it. A great edge will blast through it like there's nothing there, and an okay edge will hang up and tear on it, and this hung up and tore. Not the best factory edge in the world, but that's one thing with RoseCraft is the factory edge can vary a good bit from knife to knife to knife. We saw that with the, I think we saw that with the Pocket Monster. We saw that with the Castoria, and this right here, I don't have another Ogee to compare it to. But, yeah, the factory edge is decent. It'll get you by. It'll do what you need it to do until you sharpen it. It's just it wasn't the best one I've gotten out of the box. So, it did a good job. This thing does good work, and this is going to be a pretty quick video because nothing really stood out one way or the other. It's just the fact that this thing is this solid of a performer and in D2 for $15 on RoseCraft's website. I'm not shilling for RoseCraft. They didn't send this into me. I am not beholden to them for a particularly good review one way or the other. It's just, again, ever since the Ozark Trail Axis lock, I've been looking for the next good $10, $15 workhorse in D2. Something with good blade steel so that you guys have options. Other stuff you can look at, because let's be honest, those Ozark Trails, I keep mentioning them, but I'm still so mad about the fact that the new generations of them is so garbage. But, I really like this thing. And I got a feeling when I do Cardboard Slayer, we're going to get the usual issues with the not terribly, thoroughly chamfered. There's that $5 word. But no heavy chamfering along the inside of the liners right here, which means my fingy right here is going to take a beat down. But outside of that, the ergonomics look like they're going to be pretty good. But let's take a look at our edge and see where it's sitting after a little bit of use. I did feed her some cardboard, and it did okay with that. Little bit of a wedge. You got a very shallow hollow grind into the flat right here. So, you can tell. Not the greatest factory edge in the world, but it'll still work. It'll still do what you need it to do. So let's go ahead and get the edge sharpness tester out. Let's take a look at where it's sitting right now. And of course, you guys kindly provided the edge sharpness tester through your super chat donations, channel memberships, what have you. Thank you for that. But let's get a test clip out. I did no prep work before this, outside of writing down the specs, which is more than I normally do. But the way this works, if you haven't seen it, and most of y'all have, it measures the number of grams of force it takes to cut through the wire on this calibrated test clip. The lower the number, the better. We're just going to take one sample up towards the front middle. I'm going to wipe off the edge of the blade in case there's something on there. .229. So like I said, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's not the best edge that we've seen, not by a long shot. I prefer to see them in the 170s to the 140s. Like 140 to 170 is a great factory edge. But, that's still not bad. Again, for a $15 knife, if you want it sharper than that out of the box, you can sharpen it. It's no big deal. For 15 bucks, again, for 15 bucks, that's really, really good. You know, there's not really much that you would have had to have done to this thing. Now, I know other examples of this are probably going to have a better edge on it. Some of them might have a worse edge, but you know, for 15 bucks, it's really, really hard to go wrong with this. Because again, there's nothing you really have to compromise. The carry comfort was all right. A little bit of a challenge to dig stuff out of the pocket around it, keys, what have you. You know, it's just a little bit on the thick side, so it did take up a little bit more real estate than normal. But even that's a pretty normal problem. It wasn't super, super bad, but it was noticeable. So, yeah, you know, I'm trying to think of other things to say about it, but it was just such a vanilla carry, and that vanilla is a good thing in this case. You know, the only thing you're really missing out on is it's not super flashy. The blue accents on here, the blue anodizing definitely stands out and makes it look really cool. But other than that, like, there's really not that much to say about it. I like it. I'm really happy with it. I'm glad I picked it up. I look forward to doing Cardboard Slayer with it. This will go in the box for a random roll. So at some point, it'll be on the table. We'll throw a 20-sided die and see what the Die of Destiny picks out for us. But yeah, other than that, there's not a lot to say about it. You know, all in, good solid workhorse, fantastic price on it. I will try to remember to link off to this in the description, so if you want to pick one up, you can. But yeah, other than that, it's great. So all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate you so, so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We got live streams, regular videos. There's plenty of activities. Comments, I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about this thing or anything else. And yeah, I do have my Amazon shop linked off to this thing, or linked off so that you can take a look at stuff that I have found. You don't have to use it. It's just the easiest way I've found to show you cool stuff that I have found recently. But yeah, all that being said, y'all have a nice day.